Alright, this time we're going to try and find the factors of a squared minus 13a plus 22. And again, we start off with a pair of parentheses side by side. Now in the previous example, and all the examples we've done to this case, it's been x as the variable. In this case, it's going to be a as the variable. So we want the factors of a squared. That's going to be a times a. And we put those inside the left-hand side of each parenthesis. Now, we want the factors of 22. Okay? Factors of 22. Well, that's going to be either 1 times 22 or 2 times 11. Okay, those are the only factors of 22. And if we look at this sign here, it's a plus, and that tells us that our factors have to add. Okay, our factors must add. Now they have to add to give you that number in the middle, which is 13. Okay, don't worry about the negative in front of the 13. That's a negative sign we'll deal with later. But the factors that we pick from the list have to add to give 13. And they add because the last sign is a plus. So the correct ones are going to obviously be 2 and 11. Okay, because 2 times 11 gives you 22 in the end. 2 plus 11 gives you 13 in the middle. Okay, so let's put those, and we'll put those inside the right-hand side. And again, we'll put the big number in the first parentheses. Not that that makes any difference, as long as we apply all the rules that follow. If we apply those correctly, it doesn't really matter where we put the 11 and where we put the 2. Now, the next step is to figure out what the first sign in our answer should be, the sign of the bigger number. And what's here, whatever this first sign or the middle sign in the question should be, that's always going to go with the big number. Okay, so that always goes with the big number. Okay, so if we've got 11 and 2, the big number is obviously 11, so put this first sign, the minus, in front of the 11. Okay, we have this sign still remaining here, but we don't know what this sign is. Okay, we're still trying to figure out what this sign is, and this is the last thing that you should be looking for. Okay, well, to figure out what the missing sign is, the last missing sign is, you look at the last sign in the original question, and a plus in that position means, a plus in that final position means that the signs in parentheses must be the same as each other. Signs in parentheses must be the same as each other if there's a plus in the final position. Okay, well, we already used a minus, so that means we're now saying the next sign has to be the same as that, so it has to be a minus as well. In other words, the factors are a minus 11 times a minus 2. Okay, and those are the correct factors, and you can check that later with FOIL yourself. Okay, now one thing to notice is that it's very hard to predict before you do the work what the sign should be, because this one has a minus. In the question we had a minus and a plus, but in the final answer we had 2 minuses. So it's dangerous to try and predict or to guess what they should be, what the signs in your answer should be. You have to actually work them out logically. So don't take shortcuts. Work through it. And always apply the logic and apply the rules that we've learned. Okay. Thank you.